So we are the people get used to be rejected. We are the people get used to be say no from the other people. Why people should help you?
If you are doing something new, you are going to get rejected.
If a door doesn't open, it's not your door. Often we're trying to climb ladders that are not ours to climb.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Jack Ma. Also, if you want to have more self-love and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
The people who do the model should believe in the model, and I believe what I do.
Our first IPO year 2007, when Alibaba IPO'd in Hong Kong, year 2007, we had a lot of millionaires in the company. And I asked my colleagues, we have like 300 people become millionaires. And I asked them, hey, now tell me, you become millionaires because you are smarter than the others? The people said, no. We even cannot find jobs. Right? Because you are hardworking? Yes, we work hard. We find more people hardworking than us, but they did not succeed. Why they're not smart? All the smart people at that time, they went to Microsoft and IBM. And headhunting companies came to headhunt all the best guys from us. And we are the people, nobody come to headhunt us. We have no place to go. We believe in ourselves. We believe our dream. We work together. So I say, we are the people because nobody wants us. I am the person. Over 30 companies don't want me. Right? So we are the people get used to be rejected. We are the people get used to be say no from the other people. Why people should help you? People help you. That is unusual. People do not help you. That is very common. You should work to earn to be helped.
If you are doing something new, you are going to get rejected. If you're doing something that you're not good at yet, you are going to get rejected. If you're doing something that goes against the status quo, you are going to get rejected. So you have two choices. Live a life with zero growth and never get rejected, or chase your dream, deal with the rejection that comes, and go change the world. I have rejection all the time in my life, from little rejections of making videos that don't pop to bigger rejections of projects that I care deeply about that just don't fly and people don't accept at the beginning. I look at this, Built to Serve. This is a great example. Built to Serve is my new book coming out. If you want to pre-order it, in the description there's a link, go get it. Tons of bonuses, looking forward to it. This book, I'm insanely proud of. I think it's life-changing. I mean, it should be. I think the work that you create should be life-changing, but I poured so much into this and I think people need to read it. Like, I desperately think that this book will change a lot of people's lives. It could change your life. I believe it's not just hyperbole. Like, I truly, fundamentally believe it. When I came up with the idea, I was on my tour earlier this year and I did not have time to write it, right? I was on my tour, I'm behind on everything, a million things being thrown at me, meeting people, doing my events, seeing the cities, and I just decided I have to write this book because of all the feedback I was getting from people. It was all the one-on-ones I was doing with people. The same questions kept coming up. How do I find my purpose? How do I know who I am? How do I turn into a business? And so that's the point of the book, figuring out what your purpose is and how to use that to then serve the world, right? It's called Built to Serve. And make it into a business so you can make money doing it and build a team and go off and live your mission. When I first pitched my publisher on it, they didn't want it. They didn't want my book, right? So Your One Word is down here. That's with Penguin Random House, and Penguin passed. So they had my first deal with Penguin Random House. Typically how they'll do deals, especially with first-time authors, is you get a deal and then they have the right of first refusal on your next book. So as soon as I get my next book, they get the right to look at it first before I give it to anybody else, right? So that's why I signed. So like, okay, here we go. Let's go. It's a perfect fit. I mean, it follows really nicely with Your One Word. Let's go, right? And they said, no, we're gonna pass. I'm like, yeah, what? How do you pass? This is better than your one word. I mean, I love your one word, it's great. But this is the whole thing. How do you pass on this? It's just, and we had to wait because it's 30 days and all these, anyway, legal stuff. So then we started looking at other companies. We started looking at other publishing houses. And there were other ones that seemed to line up really well with the content that they had, the author lineup that they had, and almost everybody except the last one, right, said no. And I mean, like, I got a big YouTube channel. We have momentum. We already have our first book. We're like, why? And all sorts of different reasons, you know, just not doing personal development books anymore, not whatever. Nobody came out and said, like, we hate you, Evan. So maybe, hopefully that's not the reason. And then we found one that picked it up. It's like, okay, let's go. And if that one didn't pick it up, then we would have kept looking for more publishers, or I would have just made it myself. Just self-publish it, put it out, right? What do you do when the people around you don't accept what you have, when you want to take something in a new direction? I could have done something else. I could have done something easier. If I just did a book about Jack Ma, right, and his rules for success, that would be easier to pick up than this, which I talk about on the channel, but it's not the main thesis of the channel. But that's what I want to make, and that's what I'm going to make. Whether it's I get a publisher or we're going to, you know, create it myself, it's going to be birthed into existence because I decided so. And just taking that mindset and approach, you have to. If you love the thing, if you're doing something different, then you have to keep going when people say that I don't want to pick it up, that it sucks, that it's stupid, that maybe it's even a great idea, but you're not the person who's going to do it, right? You have to keep going. So I get rejecting all the time. Most recently on the book, that's a big thing. And I'm proud that we got our publisher at least, and we're getting it out, and we're doing the tour, and that's it. It's amazing. Even the tour, I wanted to start in January for the tour, right? January 16th, we're going to be in Cleveland. It's official. The book's not coming out till March something, 23rd, 17th, something like that. And like, you want you to hold off on the tour until the book's ready. Like, no, we're going. That was decided. The tour is happening. We're going to start a tour, and we'll do pre-orders until the book is out, and then we can hand it out to people at the end and mail it out to the people who came before, right? Like, you decide and you make stuff happen, and people will constantly have their own agenda and own ideas for what you should do with your life. You need to own what you want to do with your life and then will it into existence. So how do you do it? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is tie your self-worth to the effort, not the outcome. This is one of the biggest things that holds entrepreneurs back. You tie your self-worth to the result, to the outcome. You're great because a publisher says yes, right? If that's how I tied my self-worth. I'm only good if I get 1 million subscribers. I'm only good if a publisher says yes. No. I'm awesome. I wrote an amazing book. This book is fire. It's life-changing for people. And Evan Carmichael is awesome for writing it, whether a publisher loves it or not, right? Because if you take that mindset, right? Substitute your name and your project in that sentence. You take that mindset and you start to apply it, and you believe you're awesome for the work that you're creating. That allows you the strength, the fortitude, the persistence to keep going, right? It doesn't mean never listen to feedback. If a publisher said, like, tweak it like this and tweak it like that and maybe we could do a deal, you listen to it, you're open. You have to match what you love with what the demand is. But if you felt like you're insanely proud of your effort for everything you create, you will go off and create amazing things. If you constantly tie your self-worth to whether somebody likes it or not, you're gonna lose for life, because you're tying your self-worth to people who have a lower standard than you. It doesn't make sense. You're never gonna win. You wanna be creative, disruptive, a game-changing, badass, world-changing entrepreneur. Like, you have to bet on yourself, on your ideas when people think you're crazy. I look at the thumbnails that I've done on my YouTube channel. I split test maybe more than anybody on YouTube. We've done almost 1,500 different split tests on titles and thumbnails. And every time I go through it, every time I finish a round of another 10 different variations, new ideas, right? I'm always trying to beat my best. I feel amazing. Like, man, I just made this. I love it. I think this is gonna be the thing. I always think it's gonna win. I don't make something that I think is gonna lose. I think it's gonna win, but most of the time it loses. Most of the time it loses. And when it loses, like, crap, right? Now what? Just go back to what we're doing? That's not acceptable. We gotta keep going, keep building. But I feel great that I tried. I'm still proud of the effort, even though all of the things I created for those sample thumbnails, they're all in the garbage. I must have thousands of thumbnails that didn't even get to testing, that I'm still proud that I made, that just never saw the light of day. So being proud of your effort. Like, what are you doing right now that you're proud of your effort on? Whether you win the race or not, you tried your hardest. Because if every day you wake up and you try your hardest, you're gonna win way more races than you thought possible. But if all you're focused on is winning that one race, and you lose, and then you quit and give up, you're losing on life. Tie your self-worth to the effort, not the outcome. Step number 2 is find another way. There's always another way, right? There's always another way. This is the entrepreneur mindset. It's not about the resources, it's about how resourceful you are, right? There's always another way. What's the other way? For the book, the other way is go find another publisher, go find another publisher, go find another publisher, or self-publish it myself, or turn it into a YouTube video that is 3 hours long and I read the whole thing. I don't know, there's always another way. There's always another way. Don't stop at the first no, or the second no, or the 80th no. There is always another way. Just adopt it. If you love this thing, because here's what's gonna happen. If you love it, you know you have to create this thing, it's inside you, you love it, and you stop, you're gonna regret it your whole life. You're gonna regret that you didn't push a little bit harder, a little bit more, try another angle, tap into your genius. But if you keep going, even though you haven't got a yes yet, even though you haven't got a win yet, but you love it, you have to keep going. You have to keep going so you don't regret the rest of your entire life, right? There's always another way. Just embody it, embrace it, believe it. The thing that you wanna do is genius, trust it, keep going, and find another way. And step number 3 is what I call the Tom Bilyeu list. And this is not something I subscribe to, but works for other people like Tom. And so I wanted to share it for you as an option. Tom's talked a lot about how he keeps a list. So he's got a list of people who doubted him, who told him he was never gonna make it, who told him that he was stupid or an idiot or just, never gonna make it. They didn't believe in him, insulted him, either rude or just said no to him. And he wrote their names down on a list. And he's got this list, whether it's actually a printed list or just a list in his head. And anytime he feels like he doesn't want to get out of bed, anytime he's had a particularly bad day, then he reminds himself of the list and he starts thinking about the people. And as if I don't get out of bed and go do this thing, that person is right. And it fuels him to get off and go off and do the thing, right? Now, you don't want to live in negativity. You don't want to only do the thing because your Uncle Joe says you're an idiot and you're never going to do it, right? Uncle Joe not believing in you can't be the motivation and the sole reason for you going off. But in moments of acute pain, right? You're 80, 90% driven by the positive and the inspiring and the mission and the change that you're trying to create. And then that final 10 to 20%, when you need just that little extra kick, going to the dark side and saying, I'm going to prove Uncle Joe wrong, or whoever screwed you over and doesn't believe in you. I don't go there. That doesn't motivate me, but it does for highly successful entrepreneurs like Tom and other people. So I wanted to give you the option. Try out the Tom Bilyeu list. The next time you are feeling low energy and not following through and you got rejected, use those names to propel you forward and say, I am going to do it to prove you wrong. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know, where do you need to tie your self-worth to your effort instead of the results? How can you make yourself proud today of the effort you put in? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're still here, I wanna celebrate you. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
I would call myself a girl who really likes to challenge herself to do things that scare her.
To auditioning at Disney World.
I ended up at Disney World because I failed the LSAT, and I felt very sad that I most likely wasn't going to be heading off to law school. I am a terrible test taker. So I did what my parents said, of course, would be the most natural thing to do. And I got in my car and drove to Disney World and tried out to be goofy. And just to add, insult to injury, I'm too short to be goofy. So I just failed the LSAT. I went through all of the auditions to become a character, and you have to be 5'8" to be goofy. Wow. And I'm 5'6", so I'm the height of a chipmunk.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they wanted to make me a chipmunk.
We should actually be extremely grateful that some things don't work out the way we once wanted them to. When we get rejected, or we fail, or things don't go our way, we feel we're further away from our goal. But sometimes it's in those moments that we have the greatest opportunity to reflect, refuel, and refocus. It's in those moments that feel like the death of our dreams that our truest potential is actually taking birth. If a door doesn't open, it's not your door. Often we're trying to climb ladders that are not ours to climb. Is your dream really your dream? Are you chasing what you truly want? I remember one of my mentors telling me that in our pain, we find our greatest power. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure. It's built on frustration. It's built on fears that you have to overcome. Sometimes it takes a good fall to really know where you stand. Every time we think we're being rejected from something good, remember, we're just being redirected to something better.
If you want to know why Jack Ma thinks even a small entrepreneur can win big, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
No matter how strong an elephant is, if you're an ant, if you hide yourself well, an elephant cannot kill you.